Greetings, my subscribers, as well my newly subscribers. Thank you all for coming. Now we have a special on the menu for today, and that would have been some Jamaicans, a national dish, ackee and salfish with macaroni, dumpling, banana, and yam. Yes, you heard correctly. Now, guys, this is something worthwhile watching, and you don't want to miss it. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Here I have a lovely piece of salfish. It is soaking within the container of the water, as you can see. See, it's in water soaking, right? So when I soak it in the water, it reduces salt, even though I'm gonna cook it, right? So that's what you need to do. Just ensure to reduce the salt by soaking the saltfish in the water, then you can go ahead and cook it. Alright. So the water has now come to a boil. So what I'm gonna do is to take the saltfish from a container of water and put it in a pot here and allow it to cook. No, I'm not gonna add no salt to it, so please do not add no salt to it, right? It's already salted. But if you notice, I had it in the container of water, which is this container here, to soak, to reduce some of the salt from the saltfish. So I'm going to cover the pot and allow it to go and cook. Now, as you can see from the cover, you can see that the pot has come back to a boil, so the saltfish is now cooking. Alright, so I'm going to give the saltfish approximately 20 to 25 minutes to cook because I did already soak it. So normally when I soak it, you reduce the time, because when I soak it, it softens the saltfish, right, and make it more easier to cook. So I'm going to give it approximately 20 to 25 minutes to cook, right, and then I'm going to add some ackee. You know ackee, right? Yeah, man. Some fresh to pick ackee. I'm going to add that to it along with some elbows. Alright, so you guys will see what I'm doing, so just keep on tuning in. You know, I already, when I'm in the kitchen, I know start trouble, you know what I mean? For real, because I don't know. MTC, everything locked, you know. Yeah, big man thing. Now, ackee's case, I went on a hunting for some ackee, but I didn't get much, but I got approximately 103, so I'm still satisfied with this. So I'm going to demonstrate to you guys on how I picked the ackee. So keep on tuning in and you'll see the results. Now, as you can see, there's not much to it. All I have to do is just to break the seeds off, like so, like hold it in one hand and break the seed off with the other, right? But then they say in the middle of it, sometimes you may have some strings like vein that's within the ackee. So you can also go ahead and pick those out. But I will do so when I'm finished. So when I'm finished picking the seed of the ackee, then I'm gonna get my knife and then clean the middle out, right? So that's how I get it done. Now the veins of the string, they come from the ackee seed itself, right? So from the ackee seed, it leads down into the ackee. So that's why at times they may have some in it, and at times they may not have none. So when you're having it, you have to just use a knife and just pick it out, or you can use your finger and just reach in and just pick it out. Trina motivation, my friend. You know, when I was picking ackee earlier, my mind ran across you, for real. I was saying it would have been great for you to get some of these ackee. You know what I mean? But as soon as the tree starts open fully, then I'll make sure that I pick some ackee for you, and I'll freeze it and send it off to you, alright? Alright, so here's my ackee, nicely picked and cleaned up, as you can see. Yeah man, for real. Now, what I have here in the bowl is approximately a dozen and three. So this is good enough because I'm going to mix it with the salfish along with some elbows. That's the macaroni. That's what I'm gonna add to it. You know what I mean? You know when the ackee is limited, you wanna get something else to add with it to kind of stretch it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna add some elbows to it, and then that should be alright. You know what I mean? So just keep on tuning in, and you'll see how things is done within my kitchen. Alright, so here's my bowl. Now I'm gonna put approximately 2.5 cups of flour. That's 1, 2.5 scoop of flour. Right. Yeah, I'll just put a little more. So make it 3 scoops of flour. I'm going to cover this. Then I'm going to add some cornmeal to it. I'm going to add 1 scoop of cornmeal. Right, I don't need more than just 1 scoop. Now you see, the more cornmeal I add to it, the more it toughens, you know what I mean? It's more tighter. So I don't want to add no more cornmeal to it. So I add almost 3 scoops of flour with 1 scoop of cornmeal, and this should be good enough. Yeah, you don't need too much cornmeal. If you put too much cornmeal in it, it's gonna be too tough, you know what I mean? You don't want that. So see, you know, so I'm just mixing the cornmeal with the flour. Alright? You have to make sure that both of them mix properly. If not, you're gonna have some areas that don't have no cornmeal. You don't want that, right? So you wanna make sure, say, you mix it up first thing first before you go ahead and do anything else. Alright? So now it's finished mix. I'm gonna set it aside and get my bowl up with some water to make my, not to make, but to mix my dough, mix the dough. Alright, so how it goes, you know, as we said before, I'm going to get out the middle like so, because in here is where I'm going to pour the water. Right, in the center here. So pour the water in like so. Right, then I'm going to use a spoon to apply the flour within the middle like so, right? And then we're going to start mix. You see that? That's how I do it. That's how I get it done. Now, you may be wondering, why am I using spoon? You know what? Good question. I'm using a spoon because I'm trying to avoid my hands from being messy. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real. But don't worry, you know, because at some point I'm gonna put my hands in here. But then within this beginning area, this beginning part of it, and normally it's a spoon, right? Because with the water and the flour, it's gonna be messy. So I use a spoon to do this until me eventually can mix everything together. Then I'm just going with my hands and then we just knead it properly and then shred it properly, and then I'll just make my dumplings. Alright. So if you notice, I'm using a spoon to add some tension to the dough within the container. Yeah, that's just how it is, you know what I mean? So I'm going to push that side, and then I'm going to add some water right here, like so. So as I'm saying, guys, don't add too much water. All I have to do is just add a little water, then you mix, then add some more, then you mix, add some more, then you mix until you get all you need it. Because if you add too much water at once, you may eventually spoil the mixture. You don't want that, right? You definitely don't want to spoil the mixture. Because you know what? You could have had the last of the flour. And just imagine if you have the last of the flour and the last of the cornmeal, right? And then you're gonna mix it, and then eventually add too much water and then spoil it. What you do? There's nothing you can do to correct it, you know. There's nothing you can do to correct it, you know. Why? Because you add too much water, and then when you add too much water, the mixture but it get saggy. So it go spoil. That's what I mean. You're gonna be spoiled. So there's no way you can correct it unless you have flour. So what I'm saying is that do not use too much flour at once. Just use a little. Do not use too much water at once. My apologies. Use a little water, then you mix. Then a little water, then you mix. All right. So I'm gonna go in now with my hands and finish it up. All right. If you notice, I'm just kneading. So I'm gonna put some water in there now. Because when I'm making dumplings, guys, you gotta make sure that it's not too tight. You don't want no tight dumplings, right? So I'll make sure that it's properly kneaded to your suit. But you know, some people like it tough, but I don't like it that way. I don't like it that way. Sometimes they add too much cornmeal. Some would add too much flour. You know what I mean? But as I said before, once you know what I do, you have no problem. You have no problem. You have no problem once you know what I do. Kind of feeling tight, so I'm gonna add some more water to it to roast it up. I'm gonna add some water because it's kind of feeling tight. When I say tight, just look at it, right? This is tight. I shouldn't have to be going like this to open it, you know what I mean? It's really tight. Alright guys, so as you can see now, the dough is now finished. Look at this. The dough is now finished, and when I say I use my spoon to mix it, right, it avoids my hands from being messy. So when I use a spoon to mix it from the first part of it, look at my hands, just look at my hands. My hands are not that messy, you know what I mean, and that's what I like. I don't like when my hands are too messy, you know what I mean, so that's why I use a spoon to mix it at first, you know what I mean. So when it starts to form, then I'll take the spoon out and then I'll just use my hand now to knead it and to get it kneaded like this, you know what I mean. So it's now finished, soft and nice, you know what I mean. So you know, I always like to do it this way, just do it like this, you know what I mean. And then after I do it like this, then I'll just pinch it. Pinch here, pinch it off, and pinch it off, and pinch it off. But I'll show you on how I make my dumplings as soon as the water comes to a boil. Alright, so keep on tuning in and you'll see that. Alright, so the saltfish is almost finished cooked, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add in the ackee to it. Right, yeah, I'm gonna see there. Add in the ackee to it. Right, and I'm going to allow them to continue to cook. Right now, when the ackee is almost finished cooked, then I'm going to add some macaroni to it, and those are the elbow kind of macaroni. Understand me? So let's keep on tuning in and so, see what's good. As you can see, I have a plate right here, and the bowl with my dough that was already kneaded. So as I said before, this is how I like to do it. You know what I mean? When I do it like this, then I'll just go ahead and pinch a piece off right. So I normally pinch a certain piece, not too big, not too small, but enough to make a dumpling. You understand me? Now, if there's a case where what I pinch off is a little bit too small or too big, normally I would just pinch piece from the next piece, you know what I mean? When I say pinch piece from the next piece, I'm talking about Like say, but if this one is too small, right? What I'll do, I'll just pinch piece from this one, right? Just pinch out piece and add it to this, and then I'll just knead it, you know what I mean? And then make my dumpling. Alright, so that's it. As you can see now, this is what I like to pinch them, you know what I mean? No, it depends on the size dumplings you want to make, right? And like me, I don't like my dumplings are too big. Right, so I'm going to pinch off piece off of this, add it to it. Now sit there in the middle of my hands, and my hands are clean, right? So what I do is I do like this, right? I don't do like this, I do like this, right? Now I'll show you, but this is how I get it done, right? I'm not doing it into a ball, not a ball, but I'll show you. Look, you see? Then I'll do it like this, right? Like this. So it's quite simple. Everybody do that thing differently. That's just how I make it. See? Simple. Then I'll place it right there. So instead of putting them one by one in the pot, I'm just gonna make a portion, and then I'm gonna place them within the pot. So the pot with the ackee and the salfish is now boiling. So as I said before, I'm gonna allow the ackee to cook halfway through, and then I'm gonna add some macaroni to it, right? Alright, so see, as I said before, that's just how I like to get it done. See? Right. So this is the piece now. But if we need piece more, we just pinch piece of that and add it to it. And you look more piece. You may be thinking, how we know if we need piece more than that? Well, you know what? Because I'm using it, so I can tell exactly if it's too big or too small. Right? Okay, so there it is. Then I do it like this in the middle of my hands, and voila. There is nothing to it. Okay, so the oil is now coming to a boil. Let me just reduce the flame. Alright, let me just make this dumpling here, and then I'm going to put them in the pot because it has now come to a boil. Okay. Alright, so there it is. Alright, now I'm going to put these now within the pot. Now if you don't know, you see, when you use cornmeal, when you're gonna make some cornmeal dumpling, right? When you use cornmeal in it, let me tell you something, the cornmeal make the dumplings swell. So if you make them small, it's gonna make it a little bit bigger. That's how it is cornmeal. It's just like when you're gonna make some porridge. If you notice, if you use 1 small cup of porridge, 1 small cup of cornmeal, I'm saying porridge, 1 small cup of cornmeal, mix in the water, right? And you pour it into your pot of water boiling on the stove. I'm telling you, just watch how it gets thick. That's how it is with cornmeal. Once heat starts to penetrate the dumpling, it's going to swell. That's just how it is, you know what I mean? I've finished making my dumplings. As you can see, let me bring it up closer. You see them? You see how neatly they are. As I said before, I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to do my things properly. You know what I mean? Presentation means a lot to me. You feel me? Alright, so I'm gonna put these dumplings within the pot. Alright, so I'm gonna take the lid off. Then I'm gonna put the dumplings in. As what I said before, you know, doing it this way is much better than if I do one, put in the pot, make one, put in the pot, you know what I mean? Just make a portion, put them on a plate, put them on a cutting board or something, and then you just take off the lid when I finish with them and put them in. It's as simple as that. So I'm gonna get my yam now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get my yam and peel it and cut it. You don't know things yet, you know, guys. So just go and keep on tuning in, alright? Alright, so the Ackees is now halfway through cooking. So I'm gonna add my elbows now, and this is the amount I'm gonna add to it, right? I don't wanna add too much because I don't want to add too much elbows and overpower the Ackee and the salfish. So I'm just gonna add this to it, you know what I mean? The salfish is in the bottom, the Ackee is floating, and the macaroni is in the bottom as well with the salfish, alright? So I'm gonna cover it and allow it to go and continue to cook. Alright, so that's right, so that's just over there. Food has now come to a boil, so I'm going to add some yam to it. Some yellow yam. And I'm gonna add approximately 5 fingers to 6 fingers of green bananas. Put the bananas in now. I did not add no salt to the pot, so I'm going to add some salt to it now. That should be good enough. Now to avoid the water from getting black, we normally do is just add some vinegar to it, right? If you have the lime juice, you can add the lime juice or the vinegar. So I'll be adding the vinegar instead of the lime juice. And this is just to prevent it from getting black. You know, when you cook your bananas, you want the bananas them looking clean. You don't want them to look black. No, that's what I'm talking about. When you use the vinegar, it reduces that. You know what I mean? Or should I say, it prevents that from getting black. Prevents the banana from getting black. Not that, but the banana itself. As you can see, food are bubbling in a pot. So here's the salfish. Now this is after me clean up it. You know, pick the bones off of it and clean up it. You know, the scales, that the scales are on the salfish. So you have to ensure you clean up the scales off of it. Then you take the bones out, alright? That's it for the saltfish. And I'm gonna cut up some seasonings. Alright, so I went ahead and pour some oil within the skillet. Then I'm gonna allow it to get hot. Then I'm gonna fry up my seasonings. Alright, so keep on tuning in and you'll see the seasonings. Now with the seasonings, right, I have some Scotch-bonnet pepper, I have scallion, I have some bell pepper, but we call it sweet pepper here, right? Now I don't need to add no tomato to this, right? No tomato is needed. So I'm just gonna fry up my seasoning for a few minutes. And then I'm gonna add the saltfish to it. So my seasoning is now finished fry up. So I'm gonna go ahead now and add in the saltfish, codfish. And if you notice, I'm not using too much saltfish, right? Now some people love a lot of saltfish. But for me, nah. You know what I mean? Not even when I'm making my saltfish fritters, I use too much saltfish in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Furthermore, you know saltfish there already, right? You don't want to consume too much of the saltfish, because you know, no matter how you try to get the salt from the saltfish, that salt is still in it, you know what I mean? Now I'm going to allow the saltfish to go on fire with the seasonings. So as soon as it's finished frying up with the seasonings, then I'm gonna add the ackee and the macaroni, black pepper to it. Just a little, not too much, because I'm gonna add some more black pepper to it. Just a little bit, like so. Adding the black pepper, I'm gonna go in now with the ackee and the macaroni. So I tell you guys, you know, I was not going to add too much macaroni because I don't want the macaroni to overpower the saltfish and the ackee, you know what I mean? I just add a little to it. Alright, so I'm going to now add some black pepper. Sprinkle the black pepper. That should be about it. Alright. Then I'm gonna cover it and allow it to go on, take its own time and cook for the next, say, 5 minutes. Alright, 5 minutes max, and that should be about it. Yeah, see it there. dumpling and banana and yam. Tonight's dinner is something else. You know what I mean? Some dumpling and yam and banana with some ackee and salfish. Oh yes. Ackee and salfish. Smells so good. You can smell the essence. Yeah, let's say the essence is kicking. And I can't wait to dive in. I cannot wait to dive into this. That's what I'm saying. Real momentum, let's say the essence strong. Smells so nice. You know there's nothing like some ackee and salfish, right? With some cooked food, ackee and salfish with dumpling and banana and yam. You know, it can even go well with the same fried dumpling or festival, even the cooker bread or even bread itself. You see me? Yeah. Guys, it's always been a pleasure to share with you what I prepare in my kitchen. So please remember to thumbs up the video, leave a valuable comment, share me out, subscribe to my channel, and hit that post notification bell and allow it to be on all. That way you'll be the first person to be notified when I drop a new video. Thank you for watching.